What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 4 Monday Night Football.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon
so you don't miss our new videos.
Okay guys, in this video, I'm going to give you my top DFS picks for this Monday Night Football showdown between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants.
And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Okay guys, NFL Week 4. Let's take a look at this Monday Night Football showdown between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants. So at the quarterback position, I like Daniel Jones from the New York Giants playing the Seattle Seahawks, who have the second worst defense overall, and they give up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. So Daniel Jones has averaged 15.4 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 8 rush attempts per game. Now, he's going to be about 74% owned. He's projected at 18.6 fantasy points here tonight. He's 9,600 DraftKings salary. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 47 points scored in this game, with the Giants trailing by 1.5 points. So Daniel Jones, I like this pick because he's got a lot of rushing upside. Now, only 2 rush attempts last game, and coincidentally only scored 5 fantasy points. The game before that, 9 rush attempts and 35 fantasy points. But to make things even more confusing here, the game before that, 13 rush attempts and only 7 fantasy points. So Daniel Jones has been all over the map. Hasn't been consistent so far this season, but he certainly has that monster upside that you want in your showdown picks. So I like Daniel Jones in a good matchup here versus the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. So if I'm going to pick Daniel Jones and maybe some New York Giants wide receivers, why don't we take a look at the Seattle Seahawks running back, Kenneth Walker. He is playing the New York Giants, who have the 8th worst defense overall. They give up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. So Kenneth Walker has averaged 19.9 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 15.7 rush attempts per game and 3.3 pass targets per game. He's going to be about 41% owned, projected at 15.6 fantasy points here tonight. He's 10,800 DraftKings salary. So good matchup here, and he's really the only stud running back on the slate. So I like Kenneth Walker here versus the New York Giants. Now, if you're going to play a Giants running back, looks like the backfield is split here. It looks like they've been splitting carries between Matt Breida, Gary Brightwell. You got some, between those 2 guys. But it looks like you got Eric Gray could possibly be coming in for some carries here tonight. So if you're going to go with one of the New York Giants running backs, I guess for me it would be Matt Breida from the New York Giants. He's only averaging 4.3 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 2.3 rush attempts per game and 1.3 pass target per game. So he's going to be about 41% owned. I guess people are expecting him to get maybe more touches here tonight. Only been on the field for 31% of the snaps. These numbers aren't good here. You know, he's 6,400 DraftKings salary, and I feel like there might be better, safer plays on the slate. Now, he is in a good matchup, but it's just hard to know how many touches he's going to get here tonight. So I'm probably going to fade these running backs from the New York Giants. But I do like Kenneth Walker, and if you play one, I'd probably go with, play one from the Giants, probably go with Matt Breida.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
And we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. So from the Seattle Seahawks, you got the studs on the slate, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So if you're going to play one of these guys, you're probably not, you could still play Daniel Jones because he does have that running ability. Daniel Jones can score on the ground. So, and really in a showdown slate, it just matters who scores points here tonight. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, both these guys studs on the slate. Between the two of them, I would probably go with the salary savings of Tyler Lockett. You're going to save $800 DK salary if you need that. I think it's pretty decent here. He's averaging 7 pass targets per game on the season. DK Metcalf only averaging 6.3. So he's getting more pass targets per game. He's on the field for a little bit more snaps. Going to have a little bit less ownership. So I'd kind of play the contrarian pick here, Tyler Lockett. But it's a coin flip between these two guys, just depending on the salary left in your lineup. So I'm not even going to go over those two. They're the studs on the slate. Play one or the other, or go ahead and stack them up if you can. So moving on from those guys, if you want to save some salary in your lineup at the wide receiver position, take a look at Darius Slayton from the New York Giants playing the Seattle Seahawks, who have the second worst defense overall, and they give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. So Darius Slayton, he's averaging 6.6 fantasy points per game on the season, but he is getting an average of 5.7 pass targets per game, and he's been on the field for 77% of the snaps, going to be about 32% owned. He's 5,200 DraftKings salary, and he scored 6, 9, and 5 fantasy points in his last 3 games off of 6, 6, and 5 pass targets. So I think he's getting a lot of volume. I think he's a decent play for his price tag here. Probably has the best chance at the upside at this wide receiver position for the Giants. So I like Darius Slayton here versus the Seattle Seahawks. Now, if you want to save some salary on the slate here, and you're probably going to have to play one of these guys, take a look at Wan'Dale Robinson and Paris Campbell. Now, both these guys got some pass targets last game. Wan'Dale Robinson got 5 pass targets last game.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Paris Campbell got 6 pass targets last game, both of them averaging over 5 pass targets per game. Now, Wan'Dale Robinson looks like it was his first game of the season last week. So Paris Campbell certainly has more experience throughout the season. So that's why I would lean towards Paris Campbell here at 2,800 DraftKings salary. Wan'Dale Robinson, though, 3,000 DraftKings salary. It looks like it's going to be a coin flip to see who gets the targets between these two guys. Both of them about 15% owned. So I like both these guys. Now, the guy I would maybe stay away from is Isaiah Hodgins, because he only got 1 pass target last game, only averaging 3 pass targets per game on the season, averaging 5.5 fantasy points per game on the season. He's 5,800 DraftKings salary, so if I'm going to pay 58, I'm going to go with Darius Slayton. So anyways, that's the wide receiver lineup. Let's take a look at the tight end position. So you got the stud on the slate, Darren Waller from the New York Giants, playing the Seattle Seahawks, who have the second worst defense overall, middle of the pack defending opposing tight ends. Darren Waller has averaged 8.4 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 6.7 pass targets per game. He's been on the field for 74% of the snaps. If he can stay healthy this season, I think he's going to turn into a beast. So he's going to be about 41% owned. He's projected at 10.8 fantasy points here tonight, 7,000 DraftKings salary. He scored 5, 14, and 7 fantasy points in his last 3 games, up of 7, 8, and 5 pass targets. So I like Darren Waller here versus the Seattle Seahawks. Now, if you're looking for a dart throw tight end or a dart throw player here, super low salary, guy that's been getting pass targets and has been somewhat productive, take a look at Colby Parkinson from the Seattle Seahawks. He's averaging 4.9 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 3 pass targets per game. He's been on the field for 57% of the snaps, going to be about 8% owned. He's only 800 DraftKings salary, so with 4 pass targets last game and consistently seeing the ball throughout the season so far, I think it makes him a pretty good $800 DraftKings player if you need to open up some salary in your lineup. So I like Colby Parkinson as a dart throw here versus the New York Giants.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.